Hi, this is Mr. Chauke. I'm a professional teacher for accounting, business studies, EMS, as well as research. If you're watching this, you are definitely at the right place. Please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down there, and also make sure that you leave your comments on the comment section of this video. If you have friends who are also doing accounting, kindly also share this lesson with them. Encourage them to also leave their comments on the comment section. Lastly, if you want me to personally help you with accounting, you are more than welcome to contact me using the details that are outlined at the description of this video. With that out of the way, let's get into the lesson of the day. In this morning's lesson, we're going to be looking at budgeting. Now remember, grade 12, that budgeting is part of your paper 2, and this is one of the topics that you need to be able to master because it has got a lot of marks. Remember, it has got around 40 marks, which you mostly will be done in less than 35 minutes. So this is one of the questions whereby you can make sure that you use it to pass your paper. Remember, in accounting, for you to get level 3, I think you need around, let's check something, 60 divided by 150 times 100. Yes, for you to get level 3 in each paper, you need around 60 marks, which is reasonable. It's something that you can get. So please make sure that you find those topics that you can master so that you can easily collect marks. Now here, they're saying that the information relates to Sunday Stores Ltd. The business is owned by Adam Stores. Required, refer to information number B. Identify 2 items that were incorrectly recorded in the cash budget. Now, if they're saying that these 2 items were incorrectly recorded in the cash budget, to my understanding, it means that these items don't belong in the cash budget. So let's go to the cash budget and check what is it that was incorrectly recorded. So let's look at it. This is the information B that they are referring to. It is this one here. Now if you look at this cash budget, you need to look for things that are recorded here but they are not supposed to be here. Now in this cash budget, what I'm seeing, remember the question says that we must identify two items that were incorrectly recorded in the cash budget. In other words, these items, they don't belong in the cash budget but they are recorded here. And if you look at this, let's start with the receipts section. If you look at this, we have discount received. Discount received, there's no cash involved, so it's not supposed to be in the cash budget. So that's number one that you're going to write. So write our discount received, and then the next item that we have, I also saw something like depreciation here. It is depreciation and bad debt, so we can also mention that. So you would say depreciation, and then our depreciation, and then the other learners might also mention that but please also make sure that you mention the things that are given to you, because this question wants you to look at what is given to you but looking at that information there in the cash budget. So this is how you will collect that 2 marks. They only want 2. And then the next part of the question says that identify 2 items in the cash budget that will not appear in the projected income statement. In other words, identify 2 things that are in the cash budget but we will not include them in the income statement. So let's look at this. If you look at this, we have cash from debtors. Cash from debtors will appear in the cash budget but you won't see it from the in the income statement, so you can start with it. So we'd have cash from debtors, and then the next item that we have payment to creditors. You will never see payment to creditors in the income statement but you will see it in the cash budget. So we'd also write payment to creditors. Okay, and then that's how you collect your 4 marks. The next question says that on 3.2 they are saying that we need to complete the debtors collection schedule for December. Very important for us to highlight that this is for December. Remember, December is our month here, so this is for December, and it's going to give us 8 marks. Okay, so we need to make sure that we get that right. So let's get the policy. When it comes to the collection, you must make sure that you go and read the policy and understand what does it say. Now, if you look at here, we are very fortunate they calculated the credit sales for us, so there's no need for us to struggle. Okay, so let's get what does that policy say. Now, the policy is in information C. Here they're saying that sales and collection from debtors is as follows. Credit sales comprises of 60%, meaning that when it's like this, it means that your cash sales will then be equals to 40%. So you need to write that information. So your cash sales in this case will be equals to 40%. Okay, and then they're saying that debtors pay according to the following trend. In other words, this is how we are going to collect our money from the debtors. So you need to make sure that you study the pattern. They're saying that 40% is collected in the month of sale. They receive a 5% discount. So in other words, this is what they mean when we do our interpretation. So in the same month, we are going to collect 40%. So same, if I were to put it like this, I would say that same is equals to you're going to take 40% of that particular credit amount, and then you're going to multiply it by 95 divided by 100. And then in the first, let's hear what they are saying here. So in the first month, how is it going to be? They're saying that in the first month it's going to be 50% is collected in the month following the month of sale. So the month after will be the first month. So that 50% will come here. So remember, 50% it's in the same month. And then in the second month, what are they saying? We need to get that right. Now in the second month, they are saying that they collect 8% is collected 2 months after the sale. Very important. Okay, so 2 months after, they are going to only get 8%. So that 8% will come here, 8%, and then obviously in the third they will then write off people who could not pay. Okay, so but let's get what they're saying. So they're saying that in the third month they are going to write off 2% as bad debts. Very important for us to understand that. So that 2% will be our bad debts. Now most learners struggle with interpreting the information that they are given. I normally tell them that you must always start with the credit sales that are given, so that you can see whether it will affect your collection. And if you check according to here, your credit sales, they are starting in September. So you need to check if September will have any effect on November and December. So let's check with that. Let's start with September. Now when I'm in September, my credit sales is equals to, according to here, my credit sales is equals to 535,500. So I'll write that 535,500. But I need to check same month of September, the same month of September will be equals to September, and then the first month will be equals to October, right? Will be equals to October. Are we together? So remember, September, October, November, and then in the two-end month, the two-end month will be equals to November. Okay, so it means that then I need to come and check. Remember, same month is September, first month is October according to the table here. First month will be October, and then second month will be, first month is the same as this one. First month after September is going to be November, which is what they've done here. So it will give us the same amount, but we can check. So remember, it's going to be 535,500 multiplied by, we need to check the policy. What does the policy say? 535,500 multiplied by, the policy says it's going to be in the first month, it says it's going to be 50%. So we're going to say multiply by 50 divide by 100, which gives us this. And we need to check how that was calculated. So remember here they gave us the credit sales. Remember September, first month is October, right? Second month is November. So if you check here, we don't have October, so we are going to go to the second month. The policy says that the second month will be 8%. So if you take what we have here and say multiply by 8 divide by 100, it's going to give you that 42,840. That's how they got this answer. Now in December they are not going to collect anything. That's where they are going to write off. So under collection we would have nothing. So that's how you do that part. Now when we go to the next month, which is October, that's when we can come here and say for the month of October, for October, our credit sales is equals to, according to this, our credit sales is 640,500. So now let's check here. Same month as October is equals to October, right? And then first month is going to be November, which affects our collection. And then the two end month is going to be December, which also affects our collection. So we need to check which one is given to us. Remember, it's a race against time. So already for October you are given November, and remember November is the first month, and according to here the first month you get 50%. So let's get how they calculated that. So if we say 640,500 multiply by 50 divide by 100, we are going to get 320,250. That's how they got it. But remember, you are looking for the second month here according to the information. So the second month, which is going to be in December, it's going to be, they said you're going to only get, in the second month you only get 8%. So we want 8% of that amount. So you can just come here and say multiply this amount, multiply by 8 divided by 100. Okay, and it's going to give us 51,240. So that's how you are going to get that figure. Unfortunately, because of time, I can't type it there. So that 51,240 will come here. Okay, and remember guys, when you write the exam you don't have time, so you need to make sure that your calculations, you master them. Okay, now the next month that we are going to have, it's November. In November, same month has already been calculated, so we are only focusing on the first month after November, so you don't have to waste time. So remember, it's going to be 651,000, and then the second month, the first month after November, it's going to be December. So you check what did the policy say about the first month. It said that in the first month we are going to collect 50%. So what are we going to do then? Then we are going to say there's 651,000. This 651,000 multiplied by 50 divided by 100, then it's going to give us 325,500. So that 325,500 will come here. Okay, now what does the next question say to us? The next part that we need to do, it says that we need to collect from the sales that took place in December. If you remember, December has got no impact on November, so automatically here it will be 0, but they won't tell you. You need to know that it will be 0 because the month doesn't correspond with the collection. Okay, and then in December versus December, so it means that we'll only focus on the same month. So in the same month, it's going to be 682,500 multiplied by, remember the policy said that it's going to be 40%, right? And they will get 5% discount. So we'll say multiply by 40, divide by 100, and then multiply by 95, divide by 100. Then it's going to give us 259 340. That 259 340 will come here. 259 340. Let me see if it's the correct figure. 350, sorry. So 259 350 will come here. Very important. Now here I think I need to remove one of these because it seems as if okay, so I'm going to move my text box here. I think it was 325 500. Ignore the first one because it doesn't want to be removed. Maybe let me draw on it so that you can see that it's a mistake. So your answer is supposed to be this one, 325 500. Let me calculate it again. Remember, we were focusing on the first month, so 50% of 651,000. Then divide by 0.50. Sorry, multiply. Yeah, so it's fine. So now all you have to do then is to add the total of this, and then you'll get the full 5 marks. So we're going to say 51,240 plus 325,500, and then plus 259 350. Then it's going to give us a total of 636,090. So that's the total that we are going to have, 636 and 090. So even learners who are struggling with budget will be able to earn some marks if they are able to manage their time wisely. But remember, for me, I'm going to take a bit longer because I'm explaining. Okay, so the next part says that we need to calculate the discount that was calculated in November. When you deal with calculations like this, guys, you don't waste time. Okay, so now here, remember, in terms of the discount that was granted in December, the discount is granted in the same month. So you already know what are the credit sales for November. The credit sales for November, remember, this discount that was granted in November 2023 means in the same month as November. So our credit sales was what? 651,000. So when you do your calculations, you would say 651,000 multiply by 40, divide by 100, and then you say multiply by 5, divide by 100. Okay, and then the answer that you're going to get will be what they are looking for. So let's do it. 651,000 multiplied by 40, divide by 100, and then multiply by 5, divide by 100. It is giving us 13,020. So that 13,020 is that 3 marks that they are looking for. Easy marks in accounting. Other learners might opt to use this answer that they got here and say 325,500. So let's see, 325,500 multiply by 5, divide by 95. Oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. Let me check which one are we using. Same month as November. Oh, sorry, it's this one here. So 247,000 380 multiply by 5, divide by 95. You see, so other learners might opt to use this option here to say 247,380. Let me also write it. You can opt to also to say 247. What's that? 247,380 multiply by 5 divided by 95. Remember, it's going to give you that same 13,020. So very important to get that. Now next, they're saying that calculate interest on savings on current account in 1 December 2023. So we need to go to the adjustment that deals with that part. Remember, some of the information here for 3 point, they said we should refer to information A and B. Okay, so now in information A, we have already dealt with this. Interest on savings here was 1,200. So the first part, we need to check whether that interest is increasing or decreasing. So for information B, adjustments that have to do with that are saying that here they're saying that the savings account will be increased by 84,000 on 1 December 2023 at an interest rate of 4% per annum. It is not capitalized and it is received at the end of this month. So what they are going to receive is that 1,200 plus the interest that they will earn from this fixed deposit. So we're going to say 84,000 here. We're going to say 84,000 multiplied by 4 divided by 100, and then we're going to say multiply by 1 divided by 12 because we are dealing with 1 month. So we'll see the answer that we are going to get. So 84,000 multiply by 4 divided by 100 multiply by 1 divided by 12, it is giving us 280. So the answer for this here is going to be 208. But remember, this is not the final answer. So therefore, we're going to say the total interest will be 1,200 of the interest from last month plus this 280 of the increase. Okay, so the sum of the two will be the final answer here. So 1,200 plus 280 will give us 1,480. That's the answer that they want you to get here. And then you are done dealing with this transaction. Okay, 4 marks, free 4 marks. Now the next part here, they're saying that in terms of creditors, they are telling us information. They are saying that the markup percentage is 75% on cost. Stock is replaced in the month of sale. Very important. Remember also the markup is important here, and they're saying that a base stock is maintained. All purchases are on stock, are on credit, meaning that the cost of sales that you are going to get is equals to your credit purchase. So they're saying that creditors are paid in full 2 months after the purchase. So if I bought in October, I'm going to pay in December because the first month will be November, the second month is going to be December. So let's get what they are saying with regards to that. So now here they're saying that we need to calculate payment to creditors in December 2023. So remember I said if I bought in, we have the information about they've given us, let me see, what do we have here? Okay, so let's check what is the cost of sales that we have. So here, if you remember here, they've given us our sales, right, for October, and they've given us by purpose. We are not going to use the cash budget because we have the projected income statement, which includes our sales, but cost of sales is not given to us here. Now, if you want to check if this is correct, you can just do this. I'm going to show you something. Let's say 1,085,000 multiplied by 175 divided by 100. Remember, we actually want the cost of sales. So cost of sales, the 100 must be at the top and then 175 at the bottom. So you see, it gives us that 620,000. So that's how they got the cost of sales. So even for us for October, remember, if I bought in October, I'm going to pay in first month November, second month December. So we need to use this to get our cost of sales. So 1,067,500 will become handy for us. So 1,067,500 multiplied by 100 divided by 175 will give us that cost of sales. Okay, so let's see, 1,067,500 multiplied by 100 divided by 175. The reason why I'm saying 175 is because our selling price is made up of the cost price plus the profit that we want to make. So the answer that we are getting here is 610,000. So that 610,000 is what we are going to pay. Remember, they said that all stock is bought on credit, so that 610,000 will become the final answer here, and then you're done dealing with that. Next, they're saying that we need to calculate rent expense. We need to calculate rent expense. Now, in terms of rent expense, they're saying the one that we must calculate is for November. You must go and check which one are you given. You are looking for the rent expense of November, but you're given the one for December. So you must get your information and hear what they're saying about the rent. So now, here they're saying that in terms of our rent expense, they're saying that rent expenses are expected to increase by 13% from 1 December. So meaning that this rent expense that I have here, this 31640 here, 31640 is equivalent to 113. But what I want here, which is my unknown, which is my x, is equals to 100%. So therefore, it tells me that when I do my calculation, because I wanted the 100% before the increase, I'm going to say 100 divided by 113. Then I'm going to say multiply by 31,640. So very important for you to critically analyze the information that you are given. So let's see how much it's going to give us. So 100 divided by 113 multiply by 31,640. It is okay, let me correct here. It is giving me 28,000. So it means that the answer that I want is 28,000. And this is the amount that we were paying before they increased the rent by 13%. So very important for you to know how to go backward and forward. Okay. And then next, they're saying that we need to explain the changes that Adam made. So we need to get the background information about this so that we can be able to answer the question that fall. Okay, so let's get what they're saying here. So here they're saying that number one, they're saying that in order to increase sales, Adam decided to change the way in which salespeople are paid each month from 1 November 2023. And for us to be able to see this, we need to look at what really happened. Now, if you go to that thing, they're saying here that the salespeople agreed to the change. In other words, they agreed for him to change the manner in which he was paying them. So let's look at this. And because they said he decided to change the way in which he was paying them, it means that we're going to look into something that will tell us about the salaries of those people. Now, if you look at this, look at they said we should refer to information number G, budgeted and actual figures. So you need to check what they're saying you should refer to. So information number 2, here it is. We have this is the budgeted for November. This is the salaries for salespeople. This was their fixed salary. It was budgeted for 165,000 before the change, but after the change they were paid 20,000. You see, now he decided to decrease their salary, fixed salary, and then started to pay them on commission, because you can see that last he was not paying them commission, but is now paying them commission. So what we can say is that he decided to decrease the salary of these people. He decided to change from paying those people, how do you put it, he decided to decrease the fixed salary of the employees from 165,000 to 20,000 and paid them on commission, which amounted to 141,050. So when you answer, you can answer something in line with that. So let's put that in writing. So we can say he changed from paying employees, or we can say sales, from paying salespeople fixed salary of 165, or we can say he decided to decrease $165,000. In other words, he decreased it to 20,000 and started to pay on commission. Remember that commission is I think 141,050. Then you have mentioned the most important point in this regard. Remember, you are a learner, you will not be able to answer exactly like the memorandum, but what you've said must make sense. Okay, so now let's get what the next question says. The next question says, explains why some of the salespeople regretted their decision to agree to these changes, quote figures or show calculations. Now let's compare. We want to know if this has benefited them or not. Now remember, before commission they were paid 165, right? But now their fixed salary decreased, they got 20,000. So if we say 20,000 plus this, we need to compare it to this to see whether there's been an increase or not. So let's check. 141,050 plus 20,000 of the fixed salary is going to be 161,050. So you can see that their salary decreased. Okay, so we're going to say the reason why they are increased because their salary decreased by, so let's check, 165,161. What was that total? I forgot what was the answer that we got. Okay, so let's see, 161 and 50 minus 165,000 over 165,000. Remember, we are looking for the percentage change, and then multiply by 100. It is giving us let's see, so their salary decreased by 2.39%, hence it's a negative, and we will be worried if your salary decreases. So it has decreased by 2.39%, but we can also get it in weights. Remember, in amount. So if we say 165,000 minus 161 and 50, the difference is 3,950. So it has decreased by 3,950. Remember, it was from 165,000 to 161,050. This is very bad for them. Okay, remember, when you budget based on what you're going to receive, so this will also affect their livelihoods. how they live, how they spend, and so forth. So here they're saying that Adam feels that the decision has benefited the company, while the sales manager Millie is concerned that it did not benefit the company. Provide one point with figures or calculations to support each of these opinions. Now, here what you are looking for Adam, you're going to look for a good thing that happened after that decision. For Millie, you're going to look for a bad thing that happened after that decision. So let's check from the information here. So now, if you look at here, the average number of customers has actually increased compared to what was budgeted. Okay, so let's see what happened. So we can say one of the things that you're going to say is that the average number of customers increased, or we can say is more than budgeted, is more than budgeted by, so let's check. Remember, your information says they moved from 480 to 640. So let's say 640 minus 4848, it's 160. So they increased by 160, 160, right? So let's say 160 over 480 times 100, 160 divided by 480, and then we multiply by 100. It is giving us 33%, right? 33.33. So it is increased by 33.33%. Other learners might opt to say 160. Okay, now this is one of the things that are good here. Remember, this 160, you got it by saying 480 minus 640, then it will give you this 160. Now the second thing that some learners might also want to look at, you can look at the total sales. Remember, you want the good things only for this person. The total sales have increased. You check, we budgeted for 1,085,000, but we got 1,410,500. So those are some of the things that this person will be interested in. Okay, so let's check. Average sales have increased by, let's check the difference. So if we say 1,410,500 minus 1085 over 1085, then multiply by 100, it is giving us 30%. So total sales have increased by 30%. So that's the other thing that learners might opt to say. So total sales have increased by 30%. Remember, this 30% is represented by that difference in budgeted and actual. So let's see the difference between the two. 1085,000 subtract 1410,500, it is giving us 325,500. So meaning that they've increased by 325,500. Okay, so we can say they've increased by 325,500. So even if a learner decides to leave this here, they will get a full mark because they have quoted the figures and they've also told us whether it has increased or not. So in this case for Aiden, these are very good news. And you can also look at other things like your, unfortunately here we don't have gross profit, but sometimes they do calculate it. So that's how you would have to answer. Now the bad thing is, look at our credit sales, they have become more. And if your credit sales are actually increasing, it means that you are going to have cash flow problems. You won't have money to pay your creditors. Okay, so that's what we need to also talk about. So let's see. Our credit sales is 1,068,000. 1,068,000 1,068,700, and then we're going to say minus 1,410,500. Not this one. The previous one was 651,000 over 651,000. Then we multiply by 100. It is giving us 64.16%. So we can say credit sales, and also look at this. This is very bad. Credit sales have decreased, have actually increased, not decreased, have increased by or we can say are more than budgeted. Let me put it like that. Credit sales are more than budgeted by 64.16%. Now, in terms of amount, you will see that it makes a very huge difference. So let's check in terms of amounts. If you say 651,000, then you say minus 1,068,700. It is going to give you 417,700. So which is 417,700. This is very bad. And also look at this. You can also look at the percentage. Our credit sales is a major percentage of total sales, but let's check the percentage. Let's see in terms of so you take 1,068,700 divide by 1,410,500 multiply by 100. It is giving you 75.76%. This is very bad. So credit sales they take about almost 75.77%. So you can also mention something like that, credit sales amount to 75.77 of total sales. And then we can say that this can have a negative impact on the cash flow of the business. So in other words, we are saying that it will affect the ability of a business to pay its short-term liabilities. But obviously when you answer, you are going to answer this in such a way that it corresponds with what you've said. Okay, next they're saying that calculate the net effect of the purchase of the property on the receipts and payments in the cash budget. They have to give you some information that you can use to decide that. So if you look at this, this is the information. They're saying that Adams plans to finance the purchase of the property by acquiring a loan and using the fixed deposit that matures. So now what we need to do is to check. Remember, the cost of the property is 2,500,000. The fixed deposit that's going to mature 1 million. But we need to check the information. Remember, from here we were told that the rent expense was something like, I saw it somewhere here, 31,640. They will no longer pay this 31,640, so which means it would no longer become an outflow because they are not going to pay that rent. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. And also, once this fixed deposit matures, there was a fixed deposit of 7,500. Remember, here they said this person plans to use the money from the fixed deposit that has matured. That fixed deposit is going to mature with interest. Okay, and he has also applied for a loan. So now what we need to do, we can see that we are going to have, remember, according to this, the fixed deposit that matures is going to bring in 1 million. It's going to bring in 1 million, right? And then he's also going to acquire a loan of 1,500,000. So we're going to say plus 1,500,000. And then also, remember, there will no longer be an inflow of the fixed deposit. It's no longer going to bring money in the business, that fixed deposit. So it's going to be minus 7,500. But we need to check. Remember, also here they said they are going to pay for the property. So it's going to be minus 2,500, minus 2,500,000, because it's an outflow of cash. And then we also need to check if there's anything else. Remember, I said they will no longer have an outflow of that payment for the rent that they were paying, that 31,640, if they pay this property. So it also say plus 31,640. Very important for you to understand this. Now, remember, the reason why we are minusing this fixed deposit is because it's no longer going to bring in income for the business, right? And also, the other thing that we must check is that this property would have things like maintenance and so forth, as they have indicated here. So this maintenance and interest on loan, they're going to take out money. So we're going to say minus 18,750. So we say minus 18,750, and then also minus the other part that they're going to pay for maintenance, which is 12,500. So also say minus 12,500. Now, then after minusing this 12,500, you will see that we have included everything that has got to do with the purchase of this property. So we need to tell them what will our answer be. Is it going to be a negative or a positive? Okay, so we are going to calculate it here. Then we are going to say I'm going to look at the positive ones. So if you look at the positive ones, we have 2,500,000 here. So I'm going to say 2,500,000, and then from here we also have another positive, which is 3,160. So I'll say plus 3,160. Then I'm going to say, remember, we are now dealing with the negative, so we're going to say minus, the first minus is 7.5, so we take minus 7.5 minus 2,500,000, and then minus 18,750, and then minus 12,500. The answer that we get is negative 7,110. So I'm going to put it in brackets here because it's negative. So negative 7,110. Okay, but sometimes they can be lenient if learners they've indicated that it's an outflow, but they've written the answer positive. Nowadays I saw they give them marks. So but it's always safe to put it like this. Okay, So the next one says, give one reason why Adam has decided to go ahead with this purchase. Now remember, this person, one of the reasons why he was investing in property is because one of the reasons why he decided to invest in property, number one, it could be that this person wants to increase the assets of the business, or to avoid rising costs that has got to do with leasing a property. Okay, so we can say, you can give any reason that is related to this. So we can say to avoid increasing costs related to renting. And then the other one, it could be that maybe he wants to increase the property portfolio of the business. The other reason could be to increase capital of the business. Remember, the capital of the business can be also in a form of assets. So that could be also one. They are going to use this building that they are buying, or this property that they are buying, to generate cash from using it. So it could also be that other reason. You get my point? So when you answer, guys, make sure that you answer giving relevant answers. Answer in line with what they said was the problem. But remember, you just have to give one reason. Okay, so this is how you are supposed to answer this 40 marks. So if you want me to personally help you with accounting, to help you prepare for your assignments, to help you prepare for your exams, you're more than welcome to use the details that are available at this description of this video, and please use them to get in touch with me. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. Great talks. May God richly bless you. Shalom.